All right, so next thing coming up, be putting the steering wheel back in, connecting it to the gear pump. That way the wheels can turn. Probably putting a couple of $20 tires on here, $30 tires on these rims so it'll roll, stay aired up. Sandblasting the hood, sandblasting the trunk, self-etching primer nose. But I just talked to the guy that's going to do the floor pan, custom floor pan. And what I'm gonna have him do is cut all this rail out and leave an opening strip here, opening square right there. And, you know, make it look really nice. And then delete the back seats out there right here. Stock bar, square pan. Following this transmission, square it out, square it all out, make it all look really nice is what they're going to do. I'm just going to have him do that and delete the spare tire in the back. I'm not going to have him mess with the frame where the frame's been notched or anything like that. I'm just going to have him do these floor pans. So it's about to get cooler. First day of fall's passed. So September 21st, if you're out here in Oklahoma, whatever it is, September 21st was the first day of fall. So I'm gonna be down here getting this stuff sanded, finish the primering up most of this and get this back deck knocked out, sanded and primered, finish sanding up these dents and get everything primered up and finish sanding on it. But I talked to the guy and he's wants me to stay in touch with him for the next 2 months so I can get my window and get in there to get that done. I'm sure I have to put the doors on. Sure, I'll have to have the doors on so they can see where this seam's gonna line up here. So again, I gotta finish all these insides and also finish off the firewall all the way across on the outside, primer it, self-etch primer it. I gotta finish sanding down these here. As you see, already built bare metal. Sand it down, get all that rust off there, surface rust. Finish fiberglassing with short strand fiberglass Bondo and 3M lightweight body filler. I've added resin to this. And I gotta finish up this rear quarter panel here, keeping as much as the natural body line. There was a big scrape here. I got most of it done. Just gotta touch it up a little bit. And from here up around here, I mean, it's all square footage, but from here up around here and up around these edges here and all across there, background, insides, got a bunch of cleaning up to do. Also got these valve covers I'm not going to use here because I got my originals that have been powder coated white. These are already came powder coated silver, so I just wanted to, I'm painting everything white. So recently, 5.3 engine block, my stand disconnected right there. My engine block fell straight down on this corner right here, and I had to maneuver in here to get it back up in this little space. Had to, it fell completely down on the ground. Right there, as you can see that spot right there, that one's where it hit. And lucky I had the jack stand right here. I had to quickly get that sucker up off the ground. Didn't see any damage. Didn't see any damage other than that little scrape right there. That little bitty old roughy scrape there. Maybe a little bit of scrape right there where it landed. But like I said, was trying to keep this stuff clean here. I put some sort of wrench grease on it. Trying to keep it clean, sprayed it down 4 or 5 times. It just, there's no keeping it clean as it needs to keep it unless you're going to rebuild the engine in a quick amount of time. And Like I said, this is a super budget build. Also got to get the doors sandblasted. I forgot about that. Doors, trunk lid, and hood all getting sandblasted at the same time. And also got to go to the salvage yard and get some brackets, the seat mounts for these Chevy Trailblazer SS, so they can test fit the seats in the car. All that'll be going is the car with the doors and the seats and the seat mounts will be the only thing going in there. Other than I might end up having a replica shifter, possible. Might get one of them, but got to delete this backside. I got a bunch of cleaning to do before I move on this project. I've just been in a lot of pain with my elbow. As you can see, that fucking giant bone bulging out, trying to poke out of my arm and shit. But I was down here sanding this, and whenever I went home, I ended up having that big lump. As you can see, this big lump right here on my elbow. So my elbow's messed up pretty bad. So compared to this one here. So it's messed up pretty bad, and it's hurting pretty bad right now. But I'm in pain management for that. And I said we're going to have a little bit more of a better budget here later. Plan on trying to get a new job working. And then might be able to swing a little bit more towards this build. Again, this is the Chucky build, 1988. Monte Carlo SS. I've done everything to it myself other than get the car to where it is, physically moving it. I got the roof self-etched and primered, most of the body self-etched and primered. I've done the Bondo work. I've got the back self-etched and primered. I'm finishing up the tail lights. About to start on the back bumper and the front bumper. Looking to get a radiator core support. But again, this is a budget build, so there's a lot that I've started to do as far as applying paint thinner, paint remover, and knocking this firewall stuff out. I picked up the AC housing. I'm not doing an AC delete. I picked up the AC housing from a guy. It has pretty much a graveyard. Don't know, don't care, because this all can be fixed in time. But I needed the shell, I needed the components so I can put it in the car, put the dash back on the car, because I have to fiberglass all the inside of the AC vent back to this. I have to get it fiberglassed and aligned because this was a custom dash build. It got broken, it got warped a little bit where it's got a little arch to it. So it threw all that off a little bit, but it's fine. I'm gonna tie it all in. It takes me a little bit more meticulous time to shift everything around, especially when this is from 1987, 86, and everything else is 2024 and newer and custom built, you know, as far as bolts and everything else you're gonna throw on your car, you know, door hinges, 2024 door hinges, stuff like that. Well, you can't get these powder coated because they weld the door hinges in 2024. So you have to buy whole new door hinges. But I've already started up here. So I'm going to try to get all this from here all around, self-etched and primered, all the sides, tying in all the way back on the insides to self-etch and primer like this bad boy right here. And it looks awesome. This self-etch and primer green. That just looks sick. It really does. And I heard people were taking off these trims with a grinder, grinding all that off, giving it a sharper look. That way you ain't got to put your stuff back on there. But I went and got all my parts sandblasted, and they look like brand new components, and I've self-etched and primed them. So I'm just going to stick to the original. And like I said, it'd been cool if I would have videotaped all this stuff, taking this apart, but I did not. I just tore this sucker down to the ground, tore the windows out of the windows, doors, removed a whole bunch of stuff. I couldn't tell you where it came from, and it's all going to be a ground up build. And got to, like, all this stuff has been stripped down, except right here. You know, right here it's got a bunch of junk. And once I lay this first coat of primer, we'll come back in and fill it in with the seam sealer, like in places like this. I just got a whole lot of detail work to get off of here and make it look really nice at the end of the day. Trying to get this to all look the same on both sides. But again, like I said, my elbow is what's slowing me down on this build and slowing me down in life. And it's to the point where I can't hardly turn a steering wheel with my left arm or go to sleep at night. So, but anyway, got this all self-etching primer. I just need to sand it all down. And from here, all the way around, I got to go through and sand all this up through here around. Sand these all around again. All that, the insides of the trunk, around the edges. You know, maybe touch up some of the stuff on the inside of the trunk. You know, finish these edges up here where, oh, I just farted. Finish up some of these edges here. Yeah. But I'm also trying to be as healthy as possible at this point in time in my life. And I'm a person with engorged veins anyway. I just got out of the hospital for finding a tick on my body. Found out I had tick fever. That's where they took my tick panel in the hospital. But so my arms, you know, blocking my circulation because of my elbows fucking totally dislocated, trying to cause dislocation on this lower part of my arm. And it's causing me a whole lot of pain, fellas. So, but anyway, you know, fuck them if they got something to say is all I can tell you. So, got to finish all this, seam seal this up. You know, other than the body work that I need the guy to do, as I need the guy to weld this, that crack right there, and to throw a little bit of weld